Hey folks, welcome to PlayBranson, the show where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. I'm your host, Chris Meyer, and today's episode is brought to you by iBranson.com. It's the place where you can find the latest Branson show schedules, attraction information, and lodging options. So be sure to go to iBranson.com to get the latest Branson information. On today's show, our guest is Stephen Odom. Now, it's been a very, very long time since he's been on the show, and he's in several shows here in Branson. For instance, Back to the Bee Gees, Thank You for the Music, a modern tribute to ABBA, and the Beach Boys' California Dreamin' Show, all at the Hamner's Unbelievable Variety Theater. Now, he's got a new show, and we'll ask him about that in our interview segment. Did you know that the Beach Boys are one of the most critically acclaimed and commercially successful bands of all time, with over 100 million records sold worldwide? Between the 1960s and today, the group has had over 80 songs chart worldwide and 36 of them in the United States. And they say that's the most by a U.S. rock band. I'm not sure, but that's what they say on the internet. They've influenced numerous other artists on musical styles and movements now. And so that's one of the shows we're going to talk about is the Beach Boys' California Dreamin'. Now another one is the Bee Gees, and they've also sold over 100 million records worldwide, and that estimate is actually as high as 200 million records worldwide, placing them among the best-selling music artists of all time. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997, and the hall cited this. Listen to this. Only Elvis Presley, the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Garth Brooks, and Paul McCartney have outsold the Bee Gees. They've had 9 #1 hits on the billboards, and the Bee Gees are the third most successful band in Billboard chart history behind only the Beatles and the Supremes. So we'll talk more about these shows coming up. We'll be right back with Stephen Odom.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome to PlayBranson, and on today's show, I have Stephen Odom. Welcome back to the show.
Glad to be here.
It has been so long since you've been on the
long.
show.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
Where are we right now? It's crazy.
Yeah, you've never been in our little studio.
I love it. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
So
very cool.
we make it work. And so you are in a lot of shows here in town.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about them, but name them.
Okay.
And
sure. Well, there's Beach Boys, California Dreamin'. Mm-hmm. There's Thank You for the Music, a modern tribute to ABBA, and Back to the Bee Gees.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about something else you're working on, but you're going to have to wait till the second segment to hear that.
Gotta wait.
But tell people, you've been in Branson now here for, I think, over a decade.
Yeah.
But
oh, my goodness. Hard to believe.
It is, but you have a history before then. And so tell people about your entertainment journey.
Sure. Well, I grew up doing theater my whole life, musical theater. I did it from when I was 8 years old. I just loved being on stage. And I went to college for voice. And then I kind of realized I could combine the love of singing and performing in Branson. So we ended up in Branson after a whole life of doing musical theater. And my wife and I moved here in 2012. And we never left.
Yeah.
Well, I never thought we'd be here this long, but we don't want to leave now. We're stuck.
Well, let's go back, because even before Branson, when you talk about musical theater, what did that look like? After college, like, what was the journey like?
Well, I had no clue what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I loved performing, but I never really thought I would make a career out of it. I thought I'd be a chorus teacher, which would have been great, but I started doing theme park stuff, so I got into that. Working in Georgia, doing Six Flags and things like that. And then I kind of realized like there kind of is a small little niche area where you can do these live shows and make a living doing it. So I moved to Pigeon Forge for a little bit and started out there. And then I realized, oh, there's another place called Branson that does the same similar type things there. So we showed up here in 2012, and just the whole world of, I mean, as you know, there's so many opportunities, shows, just to do what we love to do. And my whole goal in life has always been to just do what I love and be able to support my family. So I've been able to do that for going on 12 years now here in this town that we love. So I'm so happy to be here, and I can't complain about anything, really.
Yeah. And so I think it's really interesting because, and we always dispel rumors and myths on this show, and the rumor has in the past has been Branson is just old entertainers.
Right.
And that's and you're a perfect example of a young entertainer.
Oh, thank you. I
right?
appreciate that.
Yeah, and this is where you make your, because there's not a lot of places where you probably can be in shows
That's
and just
true.
raise a family.
Especially full time. I mean, I have friends that they might book a job for 2 months and then they're on to the next thing, and they're constantly just looking for work. And I didn't want that we have a 2-year-old, my wife and I, so I knew I wanted a more stable place to be, and this has been amazing for us for that.
Now, this is going to be a dumb question, but is your baby still as cute as when it was a brand new baby?
I think he's cuter. I don't know.
like I saw some of those Facebook pages or pics, and I was like, that is one cute baby.
He is a cute kid. We bring him on stage sometimes too, so the audience gets to see him every once in a while.
Yeah, no, he's a cute guy.
No, he's a pretty. We'll keep him. He's a cute kid.
So when you first got to Branson, what was the first show you landed?
Sight and Sound, Joseph.
Okay.
So I worked there for 2 years. And it was great. You get kind of put into a cast of a big family. Met a lot of friends there, and I loved working there. I mean, it's a fantastic place to be, especially for a first type job. So we moved here for that, and then after that, kind of just branched out into other things. So basically, from 2012 until now, I've kind of bounced around. Probably been in 12 shows ish over the years, just doing whatever I can and doing what I love.
Yeah. Now, the shows that we're going to talk about, you've been at those for quite a bit now.
Yeah. So I've been doing the ABBA show for 11 years. We started at God and Country in 2013. And my wife actually has been doing it for 12 years, so she got me the job, so I'm thankful for that. But I've been doing that for 11 years, doing Beach Boys about the same. And then my business partner and I, James, we wrote the Bee Gees show that we opened in 2021. So that's our 4th year for that show.
Okay, folks, did you hear what he just said? He wrote the show. Let's talk about that, because not everybody writes a show.
Yeah.
And so what's that involve?
I was like, you know what? I think I can do this. So we did. We did all the tracks. I did all the videos myself. We did costuming, choreography, lights, all that in-house, James and I. And so we just created the show from the bottom up, and I think people like it. I hope they do. We're getting a good response so far. So it's been really fun. I mean, I'm telling you, people love the Bee Gees, and it's just great for us to be able to get up there and kind of spread that joy to the audiences every day.
So I remember when I was a child, and we're talking under 10, right? Somewhere in there, memorizing Staying Alive.
Let's hear it.
Like, staying alive. Like, that's enough. That's enough. But my voice isn't high enough.
Yeah, you got to take it up enough.
You got to take it up enough. Yeah. And as a kid, and I had the, Night Fever album.
Oh yeah.
And that was big stuff.
Yeah. People love it. They really do. We always hear there's 2 types of people that love the Bee Gees and liars. So I don't know if that's true, but we hear that a lot.
That's good. Okay, let's talk about the new project. Let's do that. So what are you working on?
We had a blast with Bee Gees, and we felt like we wanted to do it again and create another show. So it's a very different style show. It's called The Sound of Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah. So we're going to go through their whole career from the beginning and do all of the great songs like Cecilia and Mrs. Robinson, Bridge Over Troubled Water. And they had so many amazing songs. And it's going to be kind of a morning show, laid back. It's not going to be as flashy as the Bee Gees show, but we're going to bring the same quality of show that we like to produce. We're going to really pour over it and give all that we have to make it the best that we can. But I think it's going to be really fun show.
And so you're working on that now, and it will launch in September, right?
Yeah, September 2nd. We're opening. It's going to be 10 a.m. I know people don't like 10 a.m. shows, but it'll be worth it. Yeah. Come see us at 10 a.m. It'll be Mondays and Fridays this year. And then if it goes well, we may expand and do a bigger schedule next year.
Well, but here's the challenge is trying to find a slot for...
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of shows in a lot of these theaters.
So many.
And we've actually had a theater compression which makes it harder to find time slots.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
so anyway, you
We're
got a
We're
spot.
gonna kind of ride it to be a morning show, so it's gonna be a little more laid back and a little more you can relax and have your coffee and your donuts and chill and what. So it'll fit that time. People aren't gonna have to get up and dance the whole time, which will be nice at 10 a.m.
Yeah, because you can still sleep in. You
Of
know,
course,
and then
yeah.
you just roll out of bed and go to the show.
Exactly.
So, folks, you heard it here first.
Right here.
New show, and you and your partners
Yeah,
are putting it all
it'll
together.
Be James and I. We're gonna have a little band as well, live instruments. We're gonna have a great set, really cool retro couches and lights, and it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah. Well, you're just like you're entrepreneurial. I love it, man. I love it.
I gotta pay the bill somehow.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Hey, folks, we'll be back and talk more about these shows here in just a second. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Going to Branson for some relaxation and fun? You've got to stay with Branson's award-winning hotel family, Meyer Hotels. Meyer Hotels features 5 hotels in Branson with the best locations for your trip. Choose from brands you know and trust, like the Holiday Inn Express on Green Mountain Drive, the Best Western Center Point Inn, Comfort Inn at Thousand Hills, and the Comfort Inn and Suites. Enjoy refreshing indoor pools and hot tubs. Do you like free? How about a free hot breakfast each morning? Free vacation planning services, and of course, smiles are always free. Want even more value? Go to MeyerHospitality.com and join our e-club to save 15% off your next stay and check out incredible deals with our vacation packages. Call 1-877-FUN-STAY to book Branson's award-winning hotels or visit MeyerHospitality.com. It's your safe choice for award-winning lodging in Branson. MeyerHospitality.com. Hey folks, welcome back to the show. We are here with Stephen Odom, and he is a multi-talented entertainer doing multiple shows here in town, and I won't get them all 100% right, but let's start with the Beach Boys, sure. California Dreamin'.
Yeah.
And what's interesting in all your shows, like these are really the top iconic groups in musical history.
Right, yeah, I mean, the Beach Boys, they're still popular. They're still touring even. It's amazing. But yeah, we do all the hits of the Beach Boys, from Fun, Fun, Fun to Surfing USA. But the great thing is we have girls on the show. My wife is in the show as well. And so we do other things like Mamas and the Papas and stuff like that. It's a 10 a.m. show again, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, bright and early, 10 a.m. But we get up, we get the energy up, and we have a great time with that one. So yeah, it's a really fun show.
Yep. Okay, so that is that show. Now, your next show.
Yes.
Thank You for the Music, a modern day tribute to ABBA. So tell people about, like, maybe they've never heard of ABBA, which would be hard to believe, but talk about
they were
that.
huge in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. Their career lasted only about 10 years, but in that 10 years, they had so many hits. From the Eurovision Song Contest with Waterloo, up through Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, of course, that's a musical, and 2 movies have been out, so many songs that they had. And we, just like all the shows, we don't dress up as them, we don't wear the wigs and do the Swedish accents, we just do it as ourselves. And we come out and we've got very shiny costumes and sequins, and we do all your favorite hits. So if you want to come dance in the aisle, we encourage that as well. We have a really, really fun show. That show's been running in Branson for 12 seasons now. So
wow.
We always try to upgrade it every year, add more sparkles, more songs, more dances. So hopefully it gets better and better every year.
Yeah.
And that show is Tuesday and Thursday at 5, as well as Friday at 2.
Yeah, and so ABBA's a weird, I always say they're a weird group because if you look at their history, it's like they had a lot of, like you said, they didn't perform very much together, but you'd always, I went to Wikipedia and they were like, oh, we're never getting back together, and then they might, and then we're not. It seems like there was a lot of tension in the background. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe you know too.
Well, they were 2 married couples that got divorced, so
that explains everything.
Could be why they had issues, and they never really got over that. And they didn't really need to because they're all billionaires. I think they're doing just fine.
And I read that they had been offered $1 billion to do 100 concerts, and they turned it down.
That is true.
That's wild.
That tells you must not need the money very much.
Yeah.
Or maybe you hate each other that much. I don't know.
I don't know. And I think they released an album not that long ago.
They did, Voyage, which is recent. But I don't think that and they have the Avatar thing going on where you can go see not them, but their avatars live in concert, which is interesting. So they're still doing stuff all the time, and there might maybe even a third Mamma Mia movie coming out. So it's still, and it's crazy because the crowds we get, people that are 12 years old, people that are 70 years old that love ABBA because it's been across so many generations. It's really amazing.
So it spans the generations.
For sure, yeah, for sure.
Okay, we then have Back to the Bee Gees.
Bee Gees, yeah. So that is a show that I created, like I said, and we do it all from the 60s. I started a joke to love somebody up through the disco stuff. So if you want to hear the older stuff, it's there. Disco stuff is there too, and man, we have a blast. I mean, it's such a fun show. People are dancing in the aisles sometimes. They're screaming at us. It really is just a super, super fun show that I will never get tired of doing. So I love it so much.
Yeah. And so when you're picking out songs, are you picking out the songs, of course, everybody knows, and then I'm guessing you pick out maybe some that people don't know? I don't know. How does that?
Yeah, pretty much, especially if they're just good songs, maybe not as popular. We do some of the songs like maybe like You Win Again, which was not a huge hit for them, but it's a really cool song, so we do that one. And so yeah, we kind of appeal to the casual fans as well as the diehard fans that want to hear those songs that maybe that weren't big hits. So we try to cover a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I noticed of the Bee Gees, Barry is the only one still alive.
Yeah, the oldest. Yeah, still alive.
And he did a country album.
Yep.
And Dolly and all these really big country stars sang with him.
Yeah, it was great. Greenfields, and we actually. He wrote a song for Conway Twitty, which we also do in the show. So we do a little country section as well in the Bee Gees show, which you probably wouldn't expect, but we throw that in as well.
Yeah. Okay. So we covered all the shows?
I think we covered them all. Yeah,
okay.
That's it.
So folks, let's tell people, where are all these shows at?
Yeah, we are at Hamner's Variety Theater. So we are off Shepherd of the Hills, right before you get to the former Shoji Tabuchi Theater, right there on the right across from Pierce Arrow. And we have been there for 8 years now. So if you haven't seen us, we'd love to have you. It's a fun place to be.
Yeah, and in most of these shows, your wife, well, not all of them, but your wife's in most of them.
She is. She's in Beach Boys and ABBA.
Yeah.
She's also in Dean Z's show. She sings with him.
Yeah.
So she's a busy girl.
Yeah.
And we have a kid at home, so I don't know. We're making it happen somehow.
They are hardworking people, let me tell you. So folks, go see their shows, and it's this to me is just another example of the variety and depth of the Branson music scene, because sometimes people, if they're not familiar, they think it's just country.
Right.
And you're just like, hey, here's a whole bunch of other...
Here's some disco stuff.
Pop,
yep,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's tell people one more time about your new show. When does it start? What it is,
it's called The Sound of Simon and Garfunkel, and we'll open September 2nd at Hamner's Variety Theater. Shows are going to be 10 a.m. on Mondays and Fridays for now through the end of the year. And if you guys love it, we hope you do. Come back next year with a fuller schedule, hopefully.
Okay. Folks, we'll be back in just a second to wrap the show up. Stay tuned.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
So you can catch Steven at Hamner's Variety Theater. The Beach Boys California Dreamin' shows are at 10 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday through December 19th. The ABBA show is at 5 p.m. on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Oh, and Fridays at 2 p.m. The Back to the Bee Gees show is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m., and that goes through December 20th. Now, The Sound of Simon and Garfunkel, the new show you heard about today, will be at 10 a.m. on Mondays and Fridays, and that starts September 2nd through December 20th. You can find their theater at 3090 Shepherd of the Hills Expressway here in Branson. Now, next week's show is a guy named Greg Haywood, and he's with Smoke on the Mountain. First time on the show, so I'm looking forward to talking to him. Here are some of the limited engagements coming up in the Branson area. May 2nd through the 27th, lots of days, Bluegrass and Barbecue at Silver Dollar City. We have May 6th, Terry Bradshaw in town. May 9th, Wade Hayes. May 11th through the 13th, Rhonda Vincent will be out at Silver Dollar City. May 13th, Matt Gum has a limited engagement show. May 18th, Bohemian Queen over at the Mansion Theater. We have the Graskels on May 19th over at Silver Dollar City. And Morgan Wallen over at Thunder Ridge, May 25th. That's the kind of the big grand celebration of that reopening. June 13th, Chris Stapleton will be in town. June 13th, Gene Watson will also be here at Wrangler's Star-Studded Honky Tonk. The Newsboys, one of my favorite bands, June 15th out at Silver Dollar City. Check them out there. They rock it out every time they're here. June 16th, Terry Bradshaw will be back in town with Matt Gumm also doing a special show. July 6th, Matt Gumm. July 27th, Luke Bryant, Larry Fleet, Chase Matthew, and Alana Springsteen all out at Thunder Ridge. August 3rd, Aaron Lewis out at Black Oak Amphitheater. So lots of different shows going on this summer. And then August 10th, Florida, featuring DJ Scribble and McDanger. August 16th, Josh Turner out at Black Oak Amphitheater. And then August 21st through the 25th, I haven't told you all this before, but this is interesting. There's supposedly this thing coming to town called Retromania. Now listen to these artists. This is crazy. Vince Neil, Night Ranger, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Cinderella's Tom Kiefer Band, Starship featuring Mickey Thomas, Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, Stephen Perry, the voice of Rat, Quiet Riot, and Jesus Jones, and comedian Pauly Shore, and then cover bands, Members Only, and the Dirty Saints. If this happens, which I'm guessing it will, that's going to be quite the lineup the end of August. If you need help planning your Branson vacation, be sure to visit ibranson.com or call 1-877-ENTERTAIN. You can find the latest show schedules, attractions, and lodging options on ibranson.com. Folks, be sure to like us on Facebook, on YouTube. You've been watching Play Branson. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.